Hey Vibe Tribe, welcome back to my channel. This is Conjured Coco, all things witchy, all things spiritual, where it's always a mood and a vibe. And this is just a quick little video on how to do a cord cutting bath or a cord cutting ritual, black walnut bath, release, all of that, okay? The past couple of readings that I've done, a lot of them had like very similar energy, and I felt like this would be extremely helpful for a lot of people, myself included. Like, I'm making my own black walnut bath as well, because we all have things that we need to release or that we want to purge, you know, whatever the case may be. So I did take notes because maybe I'll get sidetracked and start talking about the music that's on or whatever, like, you know. So I wrote some notes and I'm just gonna hop right into it. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We would love to have you here at the Vibe Tribe. Also hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time that I upload. I'm still waiting for your Tarot Tuesday love messages to upload on YouTube. I don't know why, like when I first started uploading videos it would be super quick, but I've noticed that it's taking like a longer time, so I apologize for that, but just they'll be coming out very soon. But I definitely wanted to make sure that I did this video for you guys because it's very, very important. And again, spiritual cleansing, spiritual hygiene is very much important. You don't have to be a spiritualist or witchy or anything like that to do this bath or to keep yourself cleansed spiritually, because you know, you're taking a regular shower bath, keeping your body clean and all of that. Your spirit, your mind, your energy, all of those things are important as well. So without further ado, I'm going to just hop right into the video. I don't think that I'm forgetting anything. Sometimes I get mom brain, whatever, but I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. So a black walnut bath is a cord cutting ritual. And when I say cord cutting, I mean like energetic cords, like to sever energetic ties with a person, with bad habits, a relationship, family members, friendship. Like, it can literally be anything. It doesn't just have to be like somebody you were dating or in a relationship with, okay? However, this is it's very helpful if that is what you're trying to release yourself from. Like, if you feel like, you know, maybe you've broken up with somebody and you feel like you can't get past it, or if you're just feeling super heavy, maybe you smoke a lot, maybe you drink a lot, I don't know, whatever, like, you feel like you want to cut cords with or cut ties with, this bath will help you do that, okay? So it's also a form of release, which is good. Those are my favorite. Like, every full moon, like clockwork, I'm always releasing something because I feel like it's very important, okay? So look at me before I lose my freaking notes. You can do it anytime that you need to, but I preferably do them on Saturdays. Like, you could do it on Tuesday. You can do it anytime. But for me personally, I'll do it on Saturday or Tuesday, because that's when it's best for banishing work or release, things like that, protection work, things like that. So those are the 2 days that I personally would use. But again, if you're wanting to do this on a day that is not those days, that is okay. But you definitely want to make sure that you're grounded first. Like, if you are an emotional wreck, or if you just, like, if you don't feel well, if you have a headache, like, you definitely just want to wait until you're in a good space mentally, okay? Now, what you want to do is, and you can find it on Google, on YouTube. Like, there's a bunch of different videos on how to take a black walnut bath or how to make one. I'm going to show you the recipe that I use personally and give you like some substitutions, because depending on where you're watching me from, like, these items might not be easily accessible to you. So I got you covered. Now, I always say that you want to start off by cleansing your space. So you can use sage, you can use cedar, Palo Santo. This is like my favorite. You just burn it and you walk through and you say you set your intention. Some people pray. It's just whatever resonates with you. I know that everybody is different. So definitely cleanse your space first. And then you're going to want to get you like a nice size pot. It doesn't have to be like one of those super big pots that you would make like a stew or a soup in, but like, a decent size pot. Okay. And so you want to get 12, I believe it's 6 black walnuts. Um, and you slow boil them. Now, I personally, at this moment, don't have black walnuts, but sometimes what I do to substitute, if I still want to take this bath, is I'll use the black walnut haul, and you can get this right from, hold on, let me see if I can get it to focus. You can get this right from Amazon, okay? So I'll use either the black walnut haul, or I'll use the black walnut haul as well as black walnut leaves. I got this from, I want to say, a Mexican supermarket. I got it from a Mexican supermarket, and it was like $1. Okay, so black walnut haul or black walnut leaves if you cannot find the whole or the halved black walnuts. It depends on like where you live or whatever. Some people can find them locally, like at the grocery store or a local botanica or metaphysical store or spiritual supply store, something like that. But in the event that you can't find them, Amazon, Etsy is another really good one where you can find those things. So just the plain simple recipe is just the black walnut leaves and the walnut haul. Put it in like a mesh bag or like an herbal tea bag, like if you're making your own tea, just to cut down on cleanup. Because baby, if you've never cleaned loose herbs out of your tub, it's not fun. Okay, so I'll use like a little mesh baggie like this and put my herbs and stuff in it and boil it. Like obviously you close it so nothing leaks out or falls out or whatever while you boil it. You have to slow boil it for 3 hours on low. Okay, we're going to get into all of that, but you have to slow boil it. Now, if you would like, you don't have to, because again, there are a bunch of different recipes on how to do a black walnut bath. You can either use the black walnuts, the hull, the leaves by themselves and just slow boil that, or you can add a few other things. Okay, one of those things is eucalyptus leaves. I got these on Amazon. Well, I opened this so I can show you what they look like, but I got these on Amazon as well. I think it's my ring light, but yeah. So eucalyptus leaves, and you don't need a lot of them. They're pretty big, and also eucalyptus is very strong. So I'll just put a couple, or I'll crunch them up and put them in the little mesh bag or whatever. Okay. If you can't find, that's something else. If you can't find black walnuts or the leaves or the hull or whatever, you can use black walnut oil, and you can also use eucalyptus oil as well to make your bath. But again, keep in mind that it's extremely strong, so do not pour like the whole bottle. Don't do like 10 drops, like 2 to 3 drops is enough for, a nice size pot of water with the, 2 to 3 drops of each oil, the black walnut oil or the eucalyptus oil, okay? Another thing that I add is kosher sea salt or kosher salt. I've used both like regular sea salt or kosher, but when you think about kosher salt, it draws out impurities, right? So definitely want to get you some kosher salt. And then we'll get into the actual ritual. So my handy dandy notes. So you're going to want to boil that mixture. Again, you can put it in like a little baggie like this. If you're using the oils, maybe you want to get you like a pot that you only use to make your spiritual baths, because there's other baths that you can take. One's for protection, one's for healing or cleansing or whatever. But if you're worried about like having the oil in the pot and then cooking after, like some people are like that, so get you something that you're only going to make your spiritual baths in. Okay. So, you're going to slow boil it on low for 3 hours, and make sure that you watch it, because the water will evaporate fast even if it's on low. So you might have to add water from time to time just so that it doesn't, like your whole bath doesn't, boil away, right? The mesh bag definitely makes it an easy cleanup. So again, you don't have to use this kind of bag, just as long as it's like a mesh tea bag, something that you can boil in a pot or like, have in your tub, just so that you're not having to clean out loose herbs. Like, do you see how small these pieces are? Hold on. Like, you don't want to have to scrub that out of your tub, all right? Let's see. All right, so you want to, first and foremost, make sure that you bathe physically first. Like, take your normal shower or bath. However, some people don't have a tub. You can still do this if you only have a shower. Don't fret. But you want to make sure that you're bathing your body first, right? To make sure your physical body is clean. Okay, after that, you're going to want to turn the water to cool. Well, I think I skipped a step, so let's go back some. You're going to boil your bath, and in this 3 hours, you can light you like a little tea candle. You can I prefer the tea candles. Like, it's an easier cleanup, it's convenient, and it doesn't burn for a very long time. You can also use a chime candle, or I forget what this is called. It's not a chime candle, but you can get these from the Dollar Tree, right? You don't have to use these, and like I said, I use the tea light candles because they're more convenient. It's a shorter burn, so on and so forth, right? So while your bath is burning, you'll go ahead, cleanse your space, light your candle, and then you're going to want to sit. Sometimes I'll sit at my altar and I ask my ancestors for help. Ancestors, spirit guides, God, whoever it is that you subscribe to, the universe, whatever, right? And you sit there and you write your list. You write your list of all of the things that you want to release. And I'm trying to go in order, but I think when I wrote my notes, I took them out of order. But whatever, I'm still going to get you the information. When you're writing your list, it doesn't have to be, that you want to sever cords, again, with a specific person. It can be relationships. It can be past traumas. It can be, old wounds that you haven't healed from. It could be bad habits like smoking, or maybe you want to, do it because you cuss too much, or whatever it is that you're wanting to sever ties from, bad behaviors or behaviors that you would like to change or get, cut off altogether. This helps with that. All right. So you sit there and you really think about it, be serious about it, and write down every single thing that you want to cut ties from, or, sever the energetic cords. Like, you just write all of those things down. It's going to stir up some emotions in you, and that's what you want. So obviously when you come into the ritual, you want to be grounded and all of that, not stressed, not yelling at your kids if you have kids, or arguing with your significant other, none of that. You want to come into it with, like a grounded mindset, right? Because this is emotionally taxing, at least it can be. So you want to write down those things, and whatever emotions that you're feeling, allow yourself to feel them. Don't try to like bottle them up, because the point is we're trying to release and sever the cords from that, right? So if you start crying, if you get angry, you write down whatever it is. If you are writing to a specific person, or writing a letter to a specific person, you can write down whatever it is that you want to say to them. They're never going to read it. It's just for the purpose of you releasing that from your energy, so that you don't have to carry that, because baby, the emotional load be heavy. Okay, I'm just saying. So you'll want to go ahead and allow yourself to feel those things. Get it all out on that paper, however many pieces of paper that it takes, while this candle is burning. Again, I like to sit at my altar and I talk to my ancestors about it and ask them for help. Okay, so I'm trying to like skip through the notes so I can get back on track, right? Yeah, so it doesn't just have to be relationships. It can be traumas or behaviors, old thought patterns. Like, if you had or have an issue with thinking negatively or being like pessimistic and things like that, it can definitely help out with that. Basically anything toxic, soul ties, and just anything that you want to release, like people that you slept with, just literally anything that you can think of that you want to release. And you write it all down on that paper. So while your bath is boiling, you can set your intentions. I set my intentions with each ingredient that I add to the pot or to the water. I also will pray over it. You don't have to pray if you don't subscribe to the Bible, if you're not spiritual, if you're not witchy. Like I said before, you don't have to use prayers, but you know, you do what resonates for you. I personally will use Psalms 91 and Psalms 23. Those are great for protection. And I use those often, like really often. So those are two good ones to use. I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget anything. Now, after you write this letter, after you set your intentions, you know, you pray over your bath or set your intentions for what you want this bath to do. Like, you know, talk to the water, talk to your bath, like, I'm wanting to release blah, 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 right? After you do those things, then you go in the bathroom and you get set up. And that's when what I do is I set 2 white tea lights on the outside of my bathroom door so that I have to pass through it. Once I take my spiritual bath, and you're not going to use a towel, you're going to air dry. Do not use a towel. If you're cold, turn up the heat, stand in front of the heater, but you have to air dry. Sometimes, like when I'm just about dry, I'll put on my robe. Just, you know, I don't want my teeth to be chattering, things like that, but just don't use a towel, air dry. But when I'm finished taking the bath, I walk through the white candles, and for me, that represents like purity, renewal, like starting fresh, okay? So you set up your bath. I put 2 of these on the outside of my door. You don't have to do that. Just those are things that I do. And then after, like if you're taking a regular bath, obviously make sure you're clean first. And then, you know, you let that water out and clean it up. I'm just extra, you know, whatever way works for you is just kind of do it in this order. You want to add cool water. You don't have to let your bath water out. I probably would because it's dirty. But you add cool water into your tub. You do not want to take a black walnut bath with hot water because if you think about it, heat and fire, like it accelerates things, or it'll heat up the situation, or it will make it worse, right? It'll make it more intense. The cool water, it'll slow it down. It'll cut it off. You know, you don't have to use cold water, but as cool as you can stand it, especially now, like depending on where you live. Like I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's cold and snowy. Obviously, I'm not going to go take an ice cold water bath. Like I'm just not about to do that, okay? So make sure that the water that you add into the bath is cool. And then you would go ahead and pour your black walnut bath in there, and then you sit in the tub and you soak, and make sure that you put it over your head and on your face. Like make sure that it is covering your whole body, okay? You can pour it over your head. If you're worried about your hair getting messed up, then, you know, you can still do whatever you do to keep your hair dry. But make sure that you get some on the top of your head. Make sure you get it on your face and your neck, like your whole body, okay? And you just sit there and you soak and you take your bath, right? Prior to you getting in the tub, you want to go ahead and read this is what I do. You can wait until after, but I find that it's easier to just, like when you get out the tub, the only thing you have to do is air dry, moisturize, do whatever your after bath type routine is, and then you go to bed. But what I do is before I will take my bath or the shower, because I'm going to get to how to do it if you only have a shower, I will either sit at my altar with like a fire safe dish or a cauldron, or, you know, whatever it is that you use. And I'll either burn it at my altar and like take the ashes outside and let them scatter, or I will just go outside, especially if it's like a full moon. I'll go outside, I'll read it out loud, feel whatever emotions that I need to feel. Even if it's like a letter to somebody, you know, you read it as if you're speaking directly to that person. Don't worry about if there's people around. This is to better yourself. This is to help you move on and to move forward. It's not really about, like, who cares? I know it might be easier said than done because people are nosy. We have Karens and whatever else, but try to really just focus on the ritual itself and what it is that you're doing. But you read it out loud, and after you read it out loud and you're feeling those emotions, you burn it. Please practice proper fire safety. Do not burn your house down. Do not burn yourself. I'm not going to be held responsible, so just be careful. Like, just don't be reckless, okay? So you light your petition or your letter, whatever it is that you wrote, you light it on fire and you let the ashes scatter. And, you know, come back in the house. If you're at your altar, wherever you let the ashes scatter, just, you know, you release them and just don't look back. I try to, you know, I do it and I try not to, like, look back. Let me see, because I'm not even going by the notes. I'm just going to skim to make sure I didn't forget anything at the end of the video. But after you burn your petition or your letter, then you'll go and bathe and then take your spiritual bath. If you only have a shower, you can get like I wish I would have set one right here, but get like a container, or you can get like a gallon jug, like that has the water in it. Obviously make sure it's empty, but just get something like an empty vessel that's big enough to hold your bath in it. And then you'll go in your shower, you'll shower like normal, and then turn your shower down to the coolest that you can handle. You don't have to take like an ice cold bath, because who's doing that? I mean, there's some people that enjoy it, but not I. Okay, so turn your water to cool, and then you'll take your bath. Obviously, the bath will have been, it will have had enough time to cool down. Like, you don't want to pour boiling water on your body. Maybe I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but just in case, I'm going to say it, because sometimes people don't know, sometimes people assume, whatever. So after you've showered, you'll take your jug or your bowl or your container or whatever it is that you have, and then you pour the bath over your head. If you're a woman and you are worried about your hair, you can take some drops and make sure that it touches the top of your head. Make sure you're putting it on your face, and then you dump it from the neck down. Okay, that's just if you're trying to release something, like, I don't know, maybe your hair shouldn't be like super top priority, but I'm a woman, so I understand, I get it. If you just got your hair slayed, got that lace laid, you don't want it to get messed up. I got it, I understand. So just make sure you're touching the top of your head, and then get your face, and then you can pour the bath from the neck down. Okay, after you do that, you can just rinse it all off. I also will say my prayers again in the shower, in the bath. It depends on how I'm feeling or what I have going on. And then that's it. You step out of the shower. Do not use a towel. You have to air dry. Like, you can kind of rub your body downward. One is pushing the energy or whatever is pushing it away from you. So it's kind of like banishing it. And it's kind of helping you to get the excess water off so you don't make a mess. Okay? I don't like to step in wet, so I'll have a towel on my floor, or I have bathroom rugs or whatever, just because I don't like to step in wet. I think that is so gross. Side note, okay? But then you go and you air dry, you walk through your candles, and then you go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, and even while you're doing your bath, you can put on different sound baths, but like the healing bowls. I have the brass ones, and I am manifesting the crystal ones because they're super pricey, but baby, it's the sound for me. So I'm going to get some crystal sound bowls, and I'm super excited about that. But you can put that type of sound bath on. They have all types of different ones to like cleanse your energy, to balance your chakras, to remove negative energy. Like, there's all different types right on YouTube. You can just type in sound bath and let that play while you go to sleep. If that bothers you, you can try the binaural beats, like different frequencies, and they have frequencies for love, they have frequencies for healing, to cleanse your energy, all of that. Find which one that makes you feel relaxed. Like, if it's irritating you, obviously don't let it play all night, but you let it play and then you go to bed. You can sleep with crystals under your pillow. I do that just routinely, just cause, but you can use amethyst. It doesn't have to be this big of a piece of amethyst, but amethyst is a great healing stone. You can Google all the different types of healing stones, because there's a bunch of them. You can use clear quartz. I actually have a couple different pieces of clear quartz. Like, I have the tumbled ones, and I have I forget the other name, like the shiny ones, and then I got the rough ones, right? You can use rose quartz. And then what else? Oh, my favorite. Now, this is super huge. You don't have to sleep with this under your pillow, but this is selenite. I swear by selenite. You just have to be careful not to get it wet, because it will disintegrate and it'll break, and you just don't get this wet. But you can sleep with this under your pillow. If you have they do offer smaller pieces, so you can put them on your person, but just keep in mind that your body sweats, so you don't want to have the residue on you, or you don't want it to break or cut you or scratch you or whatever. But you can sleep with crystals underneath your pillow. I also will use lapis lazuli as well. Like, I have a bunch of different crystals. Like, I am a crystal fanatic. I have a bunch. So you just go to sleep, and then you wake up and you feel refreshed. Now, I'm going to go through my notes, because I know there's definitely a few points that I really want to make. One of those things, this is kind of like a disclaimer because people will assume or, change it into whatever narrative that they see fit. This bath or this cord cutting ritual is not you hexing somebody, wishing harm on anybody. If anything, you're wishing them well, you're wishing them the best. You're just simply cutting off your energy so that you can move on and move forward. If it's hindering you, it's causing you depression, anxiety, and things like that, you don't have to hold on to those things and you don't have to remain connected to anybody. You don't. And it's not harming them. Like, now they may reach out to you because just like the retrograde baby, when you're cutting off your energy, those people, they may reach back out to you and you might even be tempted to talk to them. But that's why when you do this, when you're writing, you're taking your time out to write your letter, to go to your altar if you have an altar, to talk to your ancestors, or like whenever you're doing this ritual, it's for you and you want to take it serious. You don't want to do this and be like, oh, they text me or they called me, or oh, they want to hang out, so let me go and do that. That literally defeats the whole purpose and it's going to restart the cycle all over again. Also, keep in mind that this is not something that you want to do just to get someone's attention or to get them to contact you or to reach out to you, for a multitude of reasons. But one of those reasons being is that once you like cut off your energy or you sever the energetic cords or whatever, like it's done. You know what I mean? So when you're doing this, before you even do it, make sure that you're sure, make sure you don't want to deal with this person anymore, or make sure that you really want to release whatever it is that you're trying to release, because once you do it, it's done. And when I tell you from personal experience, baby, it works. There are things and even people that I at one point thought that I could never see myself, in the future without. And some of those people came back, and when they came back, or when, certain situations presented themselves to me again, and I had the option to choose whether I would do it all over again or get myself caught up, I had like no desire, literally like no desire. So keep that in mind. This is not something that you do to like play games. This is for you to heal and for you to move forward. Like, if this is something that you feel is stunning your growth, making blockages in your life and things like that, like that's why you want to do it. You don't want to do it so you can be like, oh, they're going to call me because they can feel me pulling my energy back. Like, you don't want to try to manipulate it in that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their free will, and people are going to do whatever it is they want to do, but I have to be responsible whenever I am making these kinds of videos of rituals and spells and things like that, because if you're inexperienced, or if you're a newbie, or if you just are researching stuff, like, people just be doing stuff, and I want to make sure that you're very well informed to the best of my ability. Okay, so just wanted to put that little disclaimer out there. Let me just go over my little notes to make sure I didn't forget anything, y'all. Excuse my nails, I know they're looking the full, but just wait on it. I try to like do like something different monthly because it takes that long for me to need my nails done again. And sometimes I'll wait like a little bit too long because I'm busy or whatever. And this is not even related to the video at all. Like I said, I'll begin to ramble, but just, don't pay them no attention. They'll be back to normal in a few days. So, making sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, so I do want to mention that while your bath is brewing and you're writing your letter, set the mood, set the vibes. The vibe tribe is always a mood and a vibe. Set the vibe. Put on some healing music, or put on like some vibey music. Do not put on the City Bros, because that's not what we're trying to do. Don't put on Gucci. Don't put on, just like healing, high vibrational music, whatever it is that makes you feel good. But just don't put on no Mo3, don't put on no FDs. Like, all right, like let's try to set a vibe. I mean, that might be a vibe for somebody, no judgment, but You can look up different high vibrational music, or artists that make high vibrational music. One of my personal favorites is Londrell. Love him down, okay? But they have different playlists, all of that. Like I said before, you can use the sound baths or the binaural beats, whatever you choose. Just don't be playing the music that's just like, I don't know, don't blame Mr. Charlie, because fuck that. All right, dang. Whatever. I'm just, this is who I am. I have a sailor mouth. Sometimes I cuss. When I'm on YouTube, I try to keep it real cute because, they will take your coin, or they won't let you monetize or whatever, or it'll make you take the video down. But we don't want to hear, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just the man doing the best that he can. No, baby. No. Mr. Charlie, she needed to do a cut and clear on Mr. Charlie's self. Okay? So, set you a vibe, light you some candles. Like I said, you're going to have the one tea light that you do let that burn down. Like, even after you take your bath, you let it burn down, and you can leave, like, whatever's left of the candle at the crossroads. Make sure you leave an offering, like 4 pennies or some peppermints. But leave an offering with your, like, whatever is left over. Or you can just toss it. Toss it. If you do throw it away somewhere that's, like, not in your house, okay? Where was I think I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, set a vibe. Like, you can have these type of candles. I like to turn the lights down low. Like, I like dark with candlelight only. Now, obviously, if you need to see, you can have a light on or whatever. But personally, I turn all my lights off and I make sure that it's a mood and a vibe, so that I can be in the correct mindset for me to release this thing or these people or these habits or whatever. Right? Okay. I think I already told you guys that it doesn't have to be, I think I said that a lot of times. It does not have to be a relationship. Anything that you feel is toxic in your life, it could be things that you're doing to yourself or that you're not doing for yourself. Like, you can do a cut and clear for procrastination or for, low self-esteem, like things like that. It works. Now, there's other things you could do after that to boost, but, just to simply cut the cords or to release that. Black walnut bath. Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't forget nothing, y'all. I'm sorry. Not really, because I just want to make sure I give y'all all the information. I think I already let you guys know that you can expect this bath or just the process in general to be emotionally taxing, or, for it to stir up emotions that you might have felt like you were over. Feel those emotions. If you gotta cry, if you gotta scream, whatever it is that you have to do, feel those things and release all of that. Okay. Because the end result is for you to feel lighter, and you're going to be able to move forward. It's not going to be like, it's not going to feel like an addiction anymore. It's not going to feel like something that's holding you back. So feel all of that, release it in any way you have to, and just let that be that. Don't try to, like, hold back the emotions. So if you can do it, like, when you're by yourself, do it when you're by yourself. If you can't, if you have kids, wait till after they go to bed. Wait until the house is still and quiet, everybody then ate dinner and all of that, because you want it to be a vibe. You want, setting is important, okay? Now, I already let you guys know that you're not cursing or hexing anybody or sending anybody any type of bad vibes or anything like that. It's not that. It's simply to sever ties, sever cords, and for you to move forward. Like, sometimes it's hard to let go, even if you know that the person or the thing or the habit or whatever is not good for you. Sometimes it's hard to let go. So this helps with that. And it just means that you're simply removing your energy from the situation. That's it. That's all. So go me. Even without looking at the notes, I feel like I've covered each topic that I really wanted to cover. Crystals, everything. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I am going to tell you guys, like, a quick little story. This video ended up being a lot longer than what I wanted it to be, but that's okay. You guys deserve it. You're worth it. And I feel like a lot of people needed to see it. Like, just based off of the readings that I've done in the past week or two, I kept hearing, like, out with the old, in with the new, or it's time to release and let this person go, let this go, let that go, so that you can bring your blessings in. It's about to be a new year. This is the last month. 2021 flew by so fast. And do we really want to bring old stagnant energy or people that aren't serving us into this new year, into our blessings? Like, everybody can't go, and as hurtful as that might be sometimes, like, they're growing pains. That it's just, that's it, that's all. You don't gotta hate these people. You don't gotta, you know, feel any kind of way. Well, after you take this bath, you're not gonna feel any kind of way. Like, you'll still be able to acknowledge them or whatever, but you don't have to do this with like malice or hatred in your heart. You can just simply release it, knowing in your mind that everybody can't go with you to every level. Like, there's some people you're gonna have to leave behind, and that hurts. So you might also be needing to grieve from that, and that is okay. Like, you can, it's healthy to grieve. Don't let anybody make you feel any type of way about grieving for a situation. You have to grieve for what you thought it was going to be, for what it was, for what it wasn't. Forgive yourself. Like, you have to go through all of those things, and it's healthy. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. So I'm gonna, before I end this video, let me just tell you guys a quick little story time, because I feel like it's relevant to what we're talking about. Not necessarily the bath, but this was just a message, a download that I got from Spirit, and I feel like it's going to help. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, the earrings that I have in, these are like one of my favorite pairs of earrings. Now, obviously I have a bunch of other different pairs, but last night, or maybe it was the night before, no, it was last night, I had lost one of my earrings, because I am somebody who, if I'm doing like 50 different things, I'll set things in random places and forget where it's at and whatever. Like, I've had to do plenty of locate my missing item type of spells, right? But I had something to do, and I'm like, oh, let me find my earring. Could not find my earring for nothing, and I get frustrated, and I'm one of those people that it's hard to focus on anything else if I can't find what I'm looking for. And maybe that's a work in progress, but that's just what it is. And I feel like I've been that way for a very long time. Like, dang, I know I gotta do blah blah blah, but until I find this item or this, I can't focus on it, or I can't 100% focus on it. Okay. So I'm looking for my earring, and it's getting closer and closer to the time I have to leave. So I'm like, all right, forget it. I'll just wear another pair of earrings. These hold like a certain sentimental value to me, okay? So before I leave the house, I'm talking to my ancestors. I'm like, can y'all please help me find my earring? I wasn't specific. I'm just like, please, can you help me find my earring? Y'all know they mean a lot to me. Can you help me find my earring? And I'm like, all right, I didn't find them before I left, so I will look again when I get back home. So I went, did what I had to do, came back home, couldn't find my earrings still. And at this point, I'm just over it. Like, all right, well, I guess I just lost another pair of earrings. I will break jewelry or lose jewelry, and that's just been a thing with me. I don't know why, but it's a thing. So I didn't find my earrings. So before I went to bed, again, I'm just like, dear ancestors, please help me find my earring, yada, 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 whatever. So fast forward to the next day. I get up, I'm getting myself prepared, doing my morning little rituals. I'm cleansing, burning Palo Santo, setting my intentions for the day. And I'm walking barefoot because I don't wear shoes in my house. Slippers, but not shoes. So I'm walking around my house. I'm in the bedroom, and I'm just cleansing, setting my intentions, doing what I normally do. I'm not gonna bother to tell y'all, I stepped on the damn earring, and I was just like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. But at the same time, I felt so happy because I'm like, oh my God, come through, Spirit. Thank you, dear ancestors. Y'all helped me find it. I wasn't specific in how I wanted it to be found, but it found me. Definitely poked me in the bottom of my foot. And I kept saying, oh my God, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad, right? I didn't bleed or anything like that, but it wasn't until hours later when I'm driving in my car that it hit me. I said, dang, I had to go through a little bit of pain, a moment of pain, but I still got the result that I wanted, right? And it showed me a few things. One, when you're dealing with your ancestors or any spirits or any sort of thing like that, you always want to be specific, because baby, you'll get exactly what you ask for. And sometimes what you're asking for is not what you want, if that makes sense. If you know, you know. If you don't, find out, okay? But I was like, all right, one, be specific. And two, it's like, Sometimes it takes a little bit of pain, sometimes it takes a little bit of discomfort to get the result that you want. And don't let, I don't know, frustration or that being uncomfortable stop you from getting whatever it is that you want. Now, I'm sure that that can be taken out of context, but I just felt like I wanted to share that with you all because definitely got my earring back, definitely poked a hole in my foot, definitely hurt, but I got my earring. I found my earring, and I also learned don't just be setting shit down anywhere because I do that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that it helps somebody. I hope that um, you guys do this bath, and when you do the bath, make sure you come back and comment down below and let me know how things went for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below, and I got you. I'll answer whatever questions that you guys have to the best of my ability. I think that that is it. Make sure that you comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We would love to have you. And be on the lookout for your Tarot Tuesday love messages, y'all. YouTube is like doing the fool right now. But I think that that is it. I love you guys. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.